Yeah, I was the last one to see her, all right, in the basement supply room. I don't know if I believe all that legend stuff, but sometimes late at night, when I'm alone, I do hear things. Maybe I've been working down here too long.
I don't know what it was, but I know I saw something. I was getting some supplies from the storeroom, and I suddenly felt like I wasn't alone, you know? So I turned around, and right there in the hall was... Well, I'm not even going to try and describe it. You'll just think I'm crazy.
You don't think this stuff is real, do you?
What matters is that I make it seem real. All I need is 10 minutes of footage to go with these interviews. I know I can raise enough to make a feature out of this.
And what are you gonna call it? The Blair Nurse Project?
Oh, hey, that's not bad.
Yeah, and so original. Listen, Craig, since the earthquake and that explosion a couple years ago, that whole section of the hospital's been shut down. And I mean, I don't mind putting you and your crew up for a few days, but sneaking you all down there to make a movie?
Hey, buddy, with a little help, no one will even have to know.
As I recall, the young woman had been devastated by the recent death of her husband. She had a small child, job pressures. Rumor had it she suddenly decided to just disappear.
The truth? I don't know. I do know it's a lot of old-fashioned fun and folklore for the medical students. They love it. I suppose it's harmless enough. Of course, I'm not about to go down there myself.
You see what I mean? I mean, it's a sure thing.
I don't know, Craig.
Look, the anniversary of her disappearance is in 2 days. 2 days, that's all I need. Now, come on, what do you say? Give your old film school buddy a hand?
That's it. I'll see you. Get out of here. Why did I bring you down here? Why did I come down here?
Relax, buddy. This is perfect. Can't you just feel it? There's something down here, all right?
Would you just shut up? What was that?
What?
Hear something?
No.
Neither did I.
It's probably just a draft. That's what I like about it, you know? A place like this makes you hear things.
Where is it?
It's right here.
This is it? This is where she was last seen.
Yeah, that's what Harry, the old janitor, says. Listen, I got some patience I gotta get back to you. Stop it.
I'm gonna open it.
I can't take this.
Stop it. God, it's a great touch. Remind me to use that. All right, I'm going in. You ready?
No.
Oh, yeah. I definitely believe a ghost could be here. Don't you?
Harry, thanks.
Sorry, boys. I didn't know anybody was down here. It is off limits, you know.
Oh, that's all right. Really. We were just on our way out, weren't we, Alex?
Is it me, or do you just keep getting better looking every year?
Dr. Matthews, you know, I thought you'd given up on me. What's it been? 8 years?
Must be getting old. Has it been that long since you started here?
Uh-huh. And you hit on me the very first day. But I'm afraid the answer remains the same. I don't mix business with pleasure.
I thought that's because you didn't go out with smokers. See? No more cigarettes. Chewable nicotine. Give me a second chance.
I'll think about it.
Cut. Sorry, Craig, I didn't know you guys already filmed.
That's okay, bud. It's just tape.
How'd you get all this stuff down there?
Hey, it was easy. Nobody seemed to really notice except that guy Harry. And I just told him maybe, we'd use him again if he cut us some slack.
And he agreed?
I think so. Didn't say no anyway. Hey, that guy's kind of weird, isn't he?
Look at this place, Craig. Are we in the sewers? And where's my dressing room? How am I supposed to get dressed without a dressing room?
No, honey, what you got on is fine. Did you pick that out yourself?
How are we supposed to get made up in light like this?
Oh, right. Scott, you want to help him out with a work light?
I'm a paranormal investigator, not an electrician.
And I'm not a grip. How come we have to do all the work?
Look, guys, come on. I told you before. We share the work equally, we reap the rewards equally. And we're going to make history here. Am I right, Scott?
Yeah, well, I'll believe that there's something down here when this tells me that there's something down here.
What is that anyway?
Psychotronic energy monitor.
Measures paranormal disturbances of presence. Scott designed it himself. It'll give the film a real air of authenticity, All right, first timo, por favor. Let's go. First shot. Wes, Missy, I'm going to follow you guys down the hall. And no makeup. I want a documentary feel to this, okay? All right, now stick to the script and take it slow. If Scott detects anything, he'll let us know. And I want real reactions. So no matter what happens, we keep rolling. Got it?
Okay, I'll just be heading back upstairs now.
What's the matter, buddy? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Very funny. I do have a job upstairs, And I want to clear this with Dr. Sloan.
All right, ready, Scott?
Set.
Okay. I'm rolling. And action.
It was in these very halls 25 years ago that Nurse Blair Lawson disappeared without a trace.
This is the exact location, a now deserted basement, where she was last seen alive.
Since then, on or near the anniversary of her disappearance, there have been numerous eyewitness accounts of a ghostly apparition dressed as a nurse roaming these dark corridors.
Is it the ghost of Blair Lawson, calling out for the mystery of her death to be solved? Well, that's what we're here to find out. The truth behind the Blair nurse legend.
I thought your friend Craig was finished with his project.
Actually, the interviews were just the beginning. Craig wanted to get some footage of the basement, scene of the crime kind of stuff. I didn't think it'd be a problem.
Look, tell him to clear everything through Harry and tell him to please be careful.
I will. Besides, I don't think they're going to be down there long. There's really nothing to see down there, is there?
I hope not.
And that makes two of us.
I tell you, the atmosphere down here is absolutely palpable. Wouldn't you say, Missy?
Yes, I would, Wes. Makes one shudder to think what may have happened to Nurse Lawson as we retrace what could have been her final footsteps.
All right, now tell them you picked up something on that electric panel.
I'm not picking anything up, Craig.
Just do it.
I'm picking something up on this electrical panel.
Where?
Wait a minute, we may be onto something here. Our psychotronic energy meter's giving us a reading from this panel.
Let's try the luminol.
Of course, aluminum.
Well, that's gotta be blood.
Yes, using luminol, a combination of chemicals which causes blood to luminesce in low light conditions, we've detected a splash of blood right here on this electrical panel.
Wait a second. Craig, I'm starting to pick something up.
Scott.
Craig, I'm serious. There's something here.
What?
Right on this door right here, I'm getting a strong reading. Wes, use aluminol. My God, look at that. That is blood.
Aren't you going to film this?
Yeah, come on, get a shot of me taking a sample.
Okay, go.
Could this be it? The first clue in a 25-year-old mystery?
A gout of human blood splattered all over this door.
Test on these samples will tell.
All right, I admit it. I planted the first one. And I wanted to get some real reactions.
Let me guess, cow blood?
Close enough. But I didn't plant the second one, I swear. I don't know how it got there.
And you think human blood was somehow splashed over that door?
Well, I don't know, that's why I want it tested. What if we're really onto something here? That blood, or whatever it is, registered on Scott's equipment. It has measurable psychic energy.
Oh, give me a break. Psychic energy.
Please, Dr. Sloan.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you guys will suspend your filming for the time being, I'll have this stuff tested. I'll get the results to you tomorrow, okay?
Oh, come on, Mark. Don't tell me you're starting to believe all this.
Well, not yet. But I have to admit there's something that intrigues me here. You say the second sample was brighter in the luminol than the blood you planted.
Right.
Well, it's an odd thing, but for some reason, fresh blood doesn't react as strongly to the luminol test as old blood.
May I help you?
Yes. My name's Craig Wilson. I'm a documentary filmmaker. I'm doing some research on the disappearance of a woman about 25 years ago by the name of Blair Lawson.
I knew it. I knew someday this would happen.
So this is the house where she lived?
Yes. Well, I knew it was some kind of foul play all along. I mean, a beautiful young woman like that doesn't just desert her child and disappear. No, siree, I never did buy that. See, that's why I saved that box of things that she left.
What box?
It's right here in the garage. See, the police never asked about it. Nobody did. I must confess, I just took a little peek, but it doesn't seem to be anything of real value in it. And since I'd heard her child had been put up for adoption, well, I just kind of decided to hang on to it, you know. Now, well, you're more than welcome to it if it would be of any help, but would you promise to let me know if you figure out what happened? I mean, I've been wondering about that poor woman for 25 years. She was such a pretty girl, wasn't she?
All right, let's go, guys. Wes, Missy, you know the dialogue? Let's try and keep it real.
Whatever.
All right, I'm rolling. And action.
According to janitor Harry Clark, the last person to see Nurse Blair Lawson alive, this room is the actual site of whatever mysterious event caused her disappearance.
What will we find on the other side of this door? There's only one way to find out.
Gross, what's that smell?
My hair! Look what your stupid wind machine did to my hair!
Craig, if you're going to rig something, let me know. I'm a professional.
They're actors, Craig. You want us to act scared? Just tell us to act scared.
I didn't. I don't... Scott, are you picking up anything?
Oh boy, I've got something here. This is going nuts.
You two, come on, guys.
Wes, please, just go in. I'm still rolling. Just go in and turn the light on.
No way, not until you tell me what's gonna happen.
Missy!
Oh, all right, Craig. Stupid little tricks don't scare me anyways. Are you rolling?
Yeah.
Come with us now and take the next step in unraveling the mystery of the Blair nurse legend.
Missy! Missy! Is she all right?
I told you this was a bad idea.
Well, it's not too bad. It is a little blistered, though. I want to take another look at it in a couple days, okay?
You happy now, Craig? Did you get some nice footage?
Hey, I would not risk hurting you guys for this.
Yeah, right. I just hope you got everything you needed in one shot. Because we're done.
I believe him. I think that there is something else down there. Something that doesn't want us around.
Oh, please.
Whatever caused the short circuit, Craig, it just proves what I told you. That place is dangerous. Are you sure you want to continue with this?
Don't you see, we could get the first real footage of something like this. Ever.
What, two dumb kid actors be made fools of?
No, Missy, look. I told you guys from the start. You and Wes are what's going to sell this thing. I mean, you're believable, and you're the perfect age to grab the audience that we need. Now, I can't do this without you guys. Or you, Scott. Now, come on, what do you say? You help me make history?
I flunked history.
Okay, look, just stick with me through the night, all right?
Oh, man.
I'll prove to you that this is real.
Whoa, look at the time. You're about due for a dinner break, aren't you? You do eat, don't you?
Occasionally.
Good. Now, listen, what if I just happen to show up at, say, BBQ Bob's, and, well, you just happen to be there. Not a prearranged kind of a thing, certainly not a date or anything like that, just two people running into each other by chance, maybe sharing an innocent rib dinner.
Oh, I don't eat ribs.
What any more stunts or tricks, Craig, you want to know about?
I thought they were finished with those silly interviews.
Apparently not. They've been filming in the basement, some sort of pseudo-ghost documentary.
Is Mark aware of this?
I think so.
And he approves?
I'm not sure, but maybe you should talk to him about it.
Yeah. I think maybe I should. We're both on the oversight committee. You know the kind of problem something like this could cause. I mean, I'm no expert in the film business, but I do know the policies of this hospital, and at the very least, they need official permission, proper permits, insurance, and...
Yeah, I know. I had asked them to quit, but I tell you, they're so enthusiastic.
Yeah. Actually, they did a pretty good job with the interviews, didn't they? I was spooked.
Yeah, well, we were all spooked. I think Alex has still got the shakes. But they should have enough footage by now. I'll talk to them, get them to wrap it up.
I think it's best. Thanks, Mark.
Dan? My, baseball?
Oh.
Hello? Anybody down here? It is a little spooky when you're all by yourself. Craig? Anybody down here?
What are you doing here? I mean, I thought that I was the only one down here.
Me too. I was just looking for Harry.
Harry. I don't know, he was here earlier. That guy's like a phantom. He's here one second, gone the next.
What is all this?
Oh, well, this is my psychotronic energy meter. It's sort of a... Well, actually, it's kind of hard to explain. Basically, what it does is detect the presence of, well, things that aren't readily apparent to our normal senses.
Ghost, you mean?
In layman's terms, yes. However, I feel that that word is somewhat of an oversimplification, don't you?
Well, you're a specialist in the field.
As a matter of fact, I have a doctorate in parapsychology. Doctor, as you know, the study of the paranormal is a very real... science. I've already made quite a name for myself in the field. Craig might just want to make a scary movie, Doctor. But if I can scientifically document the event or events occurring right here, this could put me on the map. Finally get my book published.
You sound pretty determined.
Make no mistake, Doctor. I would do anything to be the very first one to discover concrete evidence of a genuine haunting.
Well, Scott, I'm afraid you're going to have to wait just a little while. The hospital regulations, you understand.
Stands to reason. Craig never could follow proper procedure or take no for an answer. Well, it was nice chatting with you, Doctor.
Can I give you a hand?
No, it's okay. It's very sensitive equipment, but please keep an eye on it till I get back.
Oh, sure thing.
Thank you.
You down here, Blair? We're here in the basement of the Community General Hospital. Blair Lawson.
Sloan. Tell me what's going on here, Craig.
Just be patient, will you?
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for coming, Dr. Sloan. You too, Dr. Bentley. You're just in time.
Just in time for what?
After what happens tonight, I'm sure you'll want us to keep filming. Marie. Right on time as usual. So good of you to join us. Thank you, Blair. Everyone, allow me to introduce you to Marie Bouchard. She's going to help us contact Blair Lawson.
Gotta be kidding me.
Not very scientific.
A medium?
We are here to contact the entity formerly known as Blair Lawson. We are here to help you. We ask you to join us. You are among friends. Are you with us, Blair? The entity you seek is now with us. She says she's very happy to be among friends, and that it sounds like you are close to the truth.
Ask her what happened 25 years ago.
She hears you. She's saying something about a mirror. She was hit from behind. She fell. Her head. She's very upset. I can't quite.
You can really move fast when you're scared, Alex.
I hope I was of some help.
Do you remember anything?
Oh, honey, I rarely do.
Oh, I'm sorry you missed it.
Here, you all right?
What?
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you, Marie. Everyone, I appreciate your coming. I hope I made my point. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's something I have to do. I know you're here. I think you can hear me. I want to help. Isn't this proof enough? You know, there's some sort of paranormal event taking place here. Wait a minute. You don't think I did this to myself?
No, but Harry said he didn't see anybody else when he found you, and I'm just not ready to believe a ghost did it.
Craig, did you notice anything else at all?
Only that it was really cold. And there was this smell. Just this stench.
Did you notice it at any other time?
Yeah, I smelled it once when I was down there before. Why?
Did Harry ever mention any weird smells down there?
Not that I recall.
What are you getting at, Dr. Sloan?
Well, Craig, sometimes phantom smells can be a sign of serious physical problems.
Phantom smells? What are you saying? I should get my head checked? You know, for your information, I'm not the only one that smelled it. And I'm not crazy. You know, what's happening here is real. And I'm going to prove it, with or without your help.
Craig.
Well, what do you think? Buy any of that?
To tell you the truth, I don't know what to think.
Hey, how's your head?
It's fine. You can just help me grab some of this stuff and get back to the hospital.
Listen, Craig, we need to talk.
Don't tell me. You guys are going to bail on me? Come on, we're close to something here.
Maybe too close, Craig. People are getting hurt. You, me, who's next?
When we started this, Craig, we figured you were faking everything. But now, I don't know, maybe there's something here we shouldn't be messing with.
He's right, Craig. Look, I'm not saying I know what's going on either, but it does seem to be getting more and more dangerous.
Wait a minute. Is Scott with you on this?
We don't know. He left the seance right after you did last night. We haven't seen him since.
That's great. Well, you know what? I'll just do it by myself. I'm too close to an answer to quit now. Craig. Jeez. What are you doing down here?
Unlike you, I actually work here, young man. I thought they tossed you out.
Yeah, they've been trying. Look, Harry, all I need is one more day. I mean, come on, it's not like I'm hurting anything down here.
It isn't. Some things are just best left alone. Why are you digging all this up for anyway? You trying to get yourself hurt down here, too?
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Things happen, that's all. You should just let it rest.
Why is that, Harry? Do you have something to hide? What the hell are you doing?
Well, I was just checking my equipment. Somebody decided to bring it down here and leave it out last night, Craig.
Yeah, well, I believe this is mine. Where'd the tape go that was in here?
Easy, partner. I was just cataloging everything. Already checked it. There's nothing on it.
Well, maybe I want to check it again.
Knock yourself out, Craig.
Harry said you wanted to see me, Dr. Sloan?
Yes, Craig, thank you. Come on in. Sit down.
Look, Dr. Sloan, I'm not here to cause you any problems. Now, if I could just have one more date...
Craig, it's not about the filming.
Then what?
We're a little worried about you. Amanda's made a few phone calls.
I had a nice long conversation with your mother.
My mother? What does she have to do? Oh. I see. Well, I guess it's for the best. I mean, you would have found out sooner or later anyway.
Found out what?
I hope you don't mind I asked Alex to come and hear this.
No. I guess he should know, too.
Know what?
Christine Wilson, the woman Amanda spoke to, is not my birth mother. My real mother was Blair Lawson.
I can't believe you didn't tell me this before.
I didn't want anyone to know, Alex. I figured I'd have a better chance of finding the truth. I just know she couldn't have abandoned me. I never believed that. From everything I've heard about her, she just wasn't the kind of person that would desert her only child.
Craig, you have any theories about what happened to her?
Yeah, I think she was murdered. Here in the hospital. I think that's what her spirit's trying to tell us, as crazy as that sounds.
Well, you know, we all know about the legend, but do you have any real evidence for that?
I don't know if you'd call it evidence. I just know she's trying to contact me. You know, not only through Marie, but here. I can feel her here.
Craig, what do you think she wants?
She needs my help. I don't think she can find peace until the truth is known.
Well, to make a real case, I'm afraid you'd have to have more than a cry for help from the other side.
Look, Marie Bouchard told me that my mother never left here. Now, she may have met her spirit, but I think it's possible that maybe her body never left either.
Her body?
That's an interesting idea, Craig. But the thing is, you know, where? Where's the evidence? Where are you going to hide a body for 25 years? You know, even if that were possible, you'd have to have some concrete, something solid that you could trace right back to the time. Marie said that your mother was hit from behind. So you need some real physical evidence of that, wouldn't you? Like this skull fracture right here. I never noticed that before. Huh. Of course, you'd have to determine the gender, you know, it's rib cage, pelvic structure, like this female example. Right here. General size and height. Of course, it's not really possible. I've had this thing for nearly 25 years.
Who's your friend?
Better sit down, son.
I can't wait to hear this one.
I need a DNA test run on this. There's a possibility, remote possibility, that these are the remains of Blair Lawson.
You're kidding, right?
Oh, I wish I were kidding. There's only one way to find out. Just bear with me for a minute. We need skeletons, you know, for research. We need them for medical school. We get bodies willed to science and John Doe, you know, occasionally unclaimed. Or at least we used to.
Used to?
Years ago, we simply used real skeletons, and we'd strip the flesh off of them by... Have you eaten?
Do I really need to hear this?
You'll know why in just a minute. The whole process involved putting the body in a box with a swarm of dermestid carrion beetles for 2 weeks.
Okay, I really don't think that.
No, wait. Then it's soaked overnight in hydrogen peroxide. Then it's put back in a box for 2 weeks, soaking in acetone, mainly to whiten the bones.
Uh-huh, and, I should know all this because?
Here's the interesting part. The decaying flesh and the mixture of chemicals.
Might give off one hell of a stench.
And you will never guess where they used to do it.
Don't tell me. Down in the old basement.
All right, pal. I don't know why you called me down here, but I am through playing games. Now, you were told. I'm calling the police.
Go ahead. Ask for Steve Sloan. You can explain how you murdered my mother 25 years ago. How you tried to kill me last night.
What?
You should really give up the gum, Doc. That's what gave you away, you know.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You were afraid I was getting too close to the truth.
You're out of your mind. I don't have to listen to this nonsense.
I was right. You didn't even notice the video camera setup, did you? It was running the whole time. Picked up the sound of that gum of yours loud and clear. And guess what? We found my mother. Or what's left of her. They're running a DNA test on her skeleton right now. Bet you never thought that would happen.
This is insane. You can't prove that.
Oh, and I checked. 25 years ago, as an intern, you were responsible for obtaining skeletons for the med school.
Just couldn't leave well enough alone, could you?
Thanks for coming, guys.
You heard from Craig yet?
No, Wes called us at Barbecue the Hobbs.
He won't answer his cell phone. He might have come here, but
We were afraid to go down to the basement alone.
wherever he went, he left in a hurry.
What makes you say that?
The door was wide open. His equipment was still running.
Did you bring the tape?
Yeah, right here. From the way it's set up, it looks like he was trying to filter out sounds or something.
What is that?
I don't know. Did you really think I was going to give you a taped confession? If it's any consolation, I didn't mean to kill her. God, she was so beautiful. I may have come on a little strong, but she overreacted. She didn't have to scream. I panicked. I hit her, and she fell. And what was I going to do? Give up my career, my whole life because of an accident?
Your life? She was my mother.
Now, what can I say? I'm sorry. Well, I guess I am sorry that you stumbled into this. But you were warned. This is a dangerous place. Accidents happen. Turn around. I said turn around.
So do I.
Amanda, call security, get him to the basement.
Dad?
Yes, Matthews.
You guys stay here.
Where is he?
You're too late, Lieutenant. He's covered in gasoline. Hold him. Get the fire department and the police. Craig! Craig! It's hot. Get back. Craig! Where is he? Find him! There he is. Get him! You all right? All right. Get him upstairs. I owe you one, buddy. Don't say I never did anything for you. Firemen investigating the fire said that closet was completely doused in gasoline. I mean, Craig should have roasted in that.
I guess I didn't burn for the same reason this didn't. Someone must have been looking out for me.
Craig, before we play the tape, there's something I gotta know. Just how did you know to check for sounds on the tape?
It was something Marie Bouchard said when she contacted my mother. Blair said, "It sounds like you're close to the truth." And I thought that was odd. Why would a ghost say sounds like? Sounds. Then I realized it was my mother sending me a message, trying to point me in the right direction.
Now I've heard it all.
That's awesome. Can we use that?
I'm afraid not, Missy. See, you guys are the only group that's ever going to see this.
I thought you already had an offer to film it.
I did, but... Well, all of you deserve to see it, but I don't think anybody else was meant to. I think it was just supposed to be from my mother to me. I'm going to have it buried along with her remains. Now watch closely.
That had to just be the smoke or something.
Was it? Goodbye, Mom.
Find out live, CBS next.
Mary Tyler Moore. She can turn the world on with her smile. But May 20th, she'll be a real mother. CBS presents the twisted true story of Shantae and Kenny Kimes. Mary Tyler Moore.
Trust me.
Like you've never seen her before.
See what you made me do!
Like mother, like son. CBS.
Ooh, yeah. I think I ain't got it. You've got to relax your fingers. See? Try it again. You're too tense.
Yeah, I wanted to do it for the kids next week.
Well, don't worry. If you can't do it, you'll have your trusty assistant Jimbo by your side.
I am counting on you for that. Oh, listen, don't forget to bring the medallion, too. Yeah, the Magic Citadel, the Magician of the Future. That makes it official.
I'll have it with me. I wear it every day. Wouldn't they laugh if they knew that their Magician of the Future was a janitor?
Listen, you're the best there is, Jim, and we appreciate it.
The good thing about a job like mine, at least I get to go home the minute I finish a long night's work.
Hey, I'm out of here in a few minutes. I'm just waiting for an X-ray to come down. Go home and get some sleep.
Well, actually, I'm going to hit the beach, do a little surfing. It's a beautiful morning to get in the water, and it beats going home to an empty house.
You know, Jim, I'm surprised you didn't get married. I think the girls will be lined up around the block.
Oh, thanks. Never met Ms. Right, I guess. Well, keep on working on Miser's Dream, and after you master that, I'll teach you the floating ball of flame.
The floating ball of flame?
Don't worry, it's not as dangerous as it sounds.
Hey.
told you lately that I have the most beautiful wife in the world?
But he'll be back.
Oh, I've already got a cramp.
Oh, just relax, will you?
Dad, you know I hate this. Cramp, will you? It's cramp. And dark.
Okay.
Come on, Dad.
No, it's all right. The chain and the lock are rigged. They just pop right off.
Dad?
Yeah, that's funny.
Dad, this isn't
But
funny.
hang on, we need a little oil.
Hey!
I'm getting the keys.
Get me out of here. Dad! Help!
Wait a minute, I gotta
Let
get
me out.
Hold on.
Dad,
I got
please.
All right.
Dad! Get me out of here! Help!
Just hang on.
Dad! Dad, please!
Amanda. The janitor. Jim Briggs. He just brought his body into the morgue.
Oh my God.
They found him washed ashore near Sunset Cove around 11 a.m. I guess he was pretty banged up.
I can't believe it. He was so full of life.
Maybe he still is.
Jim?
Oh, no, I can see where you'd make that mistake. I'm Jeff Briggs, Jim's twin brother. I was asked to come down here and identify his body. You're Dr. Bentley?
He's been in the water for approximately 2 days. There's a large gash in the back of his skull. We're assuming that he was hit in the back of the head with his own surfboard, rendering him unconscious, and he drowned.
Surfboard? What, Jim surfed?
You didn't know? Mark, Steve. This is Jeff, Jim's twin brother.
Mark. Dr. Mark Sloan? My brother speaks so highly of you. I'm sorry, spoke.
Well, this is Steve Sloan, my son with the LAPD. Excuse me for staring, but it's amazing. You two...
I know. I'm used to the reaction. It's happened all our lives.
This must be a terrible shock for you.
Well, to be honest, I hadn't spoken to my brother in a while. We kind of had a falling out. It's strange. Losing a brother is hard, but when you lose your twin, it's like looking at your own death.
I wonder if I could ask you a few questions, Mr. Briggs, about your brother.
Sure.
Please, take a seat. Coffee?
Yes, please, black. Jim was what you would call a wannabe. Anything I did, Jim would try to copy. I invest in the stock market, did great. Jim invests, loses everything. I start my own successful music management company. Jim decides he wants to be a rock singer. He can't even get a gig at the Holiday Inn. Now apparently he took up surfing, gets himself killed.
You're a surfer?
As soon as I could walk. I use one of those old wooden boards. Picked that up at a swap meet, and you can't find those anymore.
Where do you surf?
Oh, Zuma, the Rincon, Point Malibu probably has the best waves.
Point Malibu.
Where did they find Jim? Oh, don't tell me. I don't want to know. Look, 3 years ago, Jim came to me and said he needed to borrow $12,000 to cover some gambling debts. I'd already loaned him close to 30. He said if I didn't help him out, some goons were going to chop off his legs at the knees. I said no. He walked out of my life. It's funny. On the slab in there, I noticed he still had his legs.
Excuse me. Sloan here. All right, I'll be right there.
We ran a check on the plates. It belongs to Jim Briggs.
It's time-coded. 7:30 a.m. Tuesday. It's been here 2 days. Where'd you say the body washed up?
Right over there, about 100 yards down the beach.
You sure?
I was the first detective on the scene.
Yeah, Dad, it's Steve. I think we got a problem.
$5:45.
Something wrong?
I guess you were so busy you forgot we were playing tennis at 5:30?
Oh my gosh, Dina, I completely skipped my mind. I'm sorry.
Well, hurry up and go get changed before we lose the sun.
I've got a better idea, and doesn't matter if we lose the sun.
I agree. This is a much better idea. Just be a minute.
Talking was last week, when I told you about the problem, Jeff.
Asia, please, I'll fix it, okay?
Damn straight you'll fix it. Or you can kiss this multi-platinum booty goodbye.
Hey, you okay?
Better get me Harvey Atkins on the line. Asia wants to reschedule some concert dates.
Right away. And there's a Dr. Sloan here to see you. Says it's something about your brother. Should I tell him to come back another time?
No. You can show him in.
Was that Asia?
Oh, I'm afraid so. Well, what can I do for you, Dr. Sloan?
I was going through Jim's locker at the hospital, and I found this. I thought maybe you'd like to have it.
I'm not really interested in magic tricks.
Well, I would thought maybe just for the sentimental value.
You keep it. Or give it to one of the children at the hospital. Excuse me, I have some pressing business.
Oh, yeah, I understand. You know, there's one problem maybe you could help me with before I go.
A problem?
Yeah, it has to do with ocean currents, at least as I understand it. Now, here's the California coastline north of Sunset Cove. Now, here's where Jim's car was parked, and here's where his body was found washed ashore. There's about 100 yards there.
Dr. Sloan.
Now, the ocean currents of Sunset Cove flow northward, see?
No, I don't really.
Well, see, it took 2 days for Jim's body to wash ashore. Now, if the currents are flowing northward here, it would have been impossible for his body to wash ashore so close to where his car was parked. It should have been way up here, at least.
Well, maybe he surfed at Sunset Cove for a while and then saw that the waves were better down south and paddled down there.
You mean like down around here?
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be Malibu, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I understand that's your favorite surfing spot.
Who told you that?
Your wife. She said you were out surfing the morning that Jim drowned.
When did you speak to Dina?
Oh, about an hour ago. I had to find out your work address. She was very helpful.
Ah.
She said that you went out that morning around 8 a.m. Now, the parking ticket on Jim's Jeep was time-coded, and it said he parked there at around 7:30 a.m.
No kidding. Gee, I wish I had seen him. Then maybe I could have saved him from drowning. But then again, with all the eddies and currents along the coast, it'd be pretty difficult to say where Jim drowned, wouldn't it?
So what did you think you were going to find out?
Oh, you know, when Steve told me about that parking lot ticket, something does not add up there. Okay, get in the box.
I love you, Mark, but I'm not getting into the box.
Come on, man, it's for the kids.
Not getting in the box.
Look, Jim can't do it. He was going to.
I hate when you make me feel guilty. All right, I'm going to do it. I won't like doing it, but I'm going to do it.
It's going to be fun. Oh, sorry. Okay, listen, you better take the necklace off. Well, I had an assistant wore a beautiful necklace. It got caught on one of those levers.
What?
Oh, just give me the necklace. The Magic Citadel.
Excuse me?
Listen, Amanda, Jim had an amulet around his neck on a chain the day he died. You remember it was on him when they brought him in?
Yeah, all of the personal effects were returned to the next of kin along with the body. Now, the autopsy photographs here. See, he was definitely wearing the amulet. What, you seem disappointed?
Well, you know, it's crazy. I guess I keep thinking that maybe it isn't Jim who's dead, that maybe it was his brother. And if the two of them look so much alike, it's hard to believe that the person we're talking to isn't Jim.
You know, my foster mother has twin sisters, and to this day, I'm never quite sure which one I'm talking to.
But he's got the amulet on. It has to be Jim. You know, I never noticed this before. Those bumps on his knees and the tops of his feet.
Surfers' knots. Surfers get them all the time when they're kneeling on their surfboards paddling out to the ocean.
Yeah, I know Steve has them, too. But the thing is, you've got to surf for a lot of years before they develop anything like that. Jim said he'd only been surfing a couple of months.
Well, maybe he was being modest. Maybe he developed them quicker than most people.
Yeah, maybe we're looking at a homicide. Maybe Jim killed his brother and stepped into his life.
It's the end of the phone list.
Thanks.
Jeff, is something wrong?
No, of course not. Why do you ask that?
Well, I mean, you haven't touched me all week. I mean, did I say something or do something? Could you please be honest with me? What did I do?
No, not a thing. Everything's okay. I've had a lot on my mind.
Thank God. Okay, because I was worried you were going to cancel our romantic getaway to Santa Barbara this weekend.
This weekend?
Oh, you did not forget. You promised me.
No, I didn't forget. Of course not. I've been looking forward to it all week.
Sorry to bother you like this. Actually, I was hoping to speak to your husband.
Well, he's at work. What can I help you with, Lieutenant?
Well, this is kind of embarrassing, but you see, my father,
Your father? What does he have to do with this?
well, he's a consultant with the police department. Now, to tell you the truth, that's just an honorary title, but once in a while he gets a crazy idea in his head and he just won't let it go. I hate to even ask you this, but has your husband been acting unusual at all lately?
Unusual?
Like, has he been acting differently? His moods, his habits? Does he seem like a different person?
No.
I didn't think so. See, my dad's got this idea that your husband Jeff is, well, actually his twin brother Jim.
What? That is funny. That is funny, Lieutenant. Thank you. It's been a rough couple of days, and I needed a good laugh.
Right.
Can I fix you something? Drink? Or...
No, thank you.
Well, you can tell your father that woman would know her husband wasn't really her husband, if you know what I mean.
I've been trying to tell him that. I was really hoping your husband would be home.
Listen, Lieutenant, if you think something strange is going on, maybe I can help. Jeff just bought a bottle of scotch last week, and he's the only one in this house who ever drinks that stuff. So why don't you take it? It's on the bar. His fingerprints must be all over it. Must be some way you could check that, right?
Thank you.
Sure I can't get you a drink?
No, thanks. Bye.
The police were here?
Just thought you might like to know.
Oh, I am not going to stand for this anymore. I am going down to the precinct first thing in the morning to lodge a complaint. To accuse me of being my dead brother, it's ridiculous.
You know what they wanted? They wanted your fingerprints.
Excuse me?
Oh, you don't have to worry. I gave them a bottle Jeff bought last week. And that's whose fingerprints they're gonna get. Jim. Did you really think you could fool me?
How long have you known?
What, that you killed your twin brother and took his place? Since the first day.
Why didn't you blow the whistle?
Jeff wasn't a very nice man, you know that.
I guess I thought...
What, that he treated me better than he treated you? Well, he didn't. Lately it had been so bad I decided to file for a divorce. In fact, I had an appointment with the lawyer the day you came home from the beach and kissed me. first I was curious to see what you were up to, and then after the first couple days, I realized after all these years I've been married to the wrong brother.
I thought you were being so terrific to me because you thought I was him.
I do have to ask you, though.
Why? I didn't want to kill him, but... I mean, all the bad stuff between us, that was in the past. But I owed some people some money, and they were going to get it one way or another.
What, more gambling debts?
I thought of killing myself, but I didn't have the courage, so... I killed Jeff and took over his life.
You just have to move on from here. With no regrets. And no more gambling.
No, believe me, that's over, dead and buried. The only thing I have to worry about is Dr. Sloan. I thought of every angle.
Jim, let's be honest. You're sweeter than your brother, and you are much sexier, but Jeff was the smarter of you two.
What, you're saying that he could have pulled this off?
What I'm saying is that between us, we can pull this off.
And we roll it, and we roll it, until it gets nice and soft and warm, and there it is in one of my drawers. And there it is in the pantry in the vestry. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the famous Chinese vanishing bag. You notice it's empty, totally empty inside and out. We take this beautiful Singapore silk, we put it in the bag like that. And then I simply say the magic words, sim salabim ala la bala. And out it comes, there it is. However. Thank you very, very kindly. Thank you. Thank you kindly. And now here's some flowers for the beautiful young lady. Excuse me. There. Will wonders never cease. The man is an absolute wizard. A cornucopia of magic tricks, a montage of the most colorful magic tricks ever done by a wizard you've ever seen in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, now my most famous trick to baffle and mystify you, conceived by the great Merlin the Magician from the days of King Arthur's court, and taught to me by that master prestidigitator, the great Majawambi of Calcutta. Now my assistant, Alexo, will get into the magic box, from which there is no escape and which leads to unknown worlds. Alexo, will you get into my box, please? Keep your eye on the red silk. It'll be seen later. Into the box he goes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you see before you a chain of forged stainless steel, unbreakable by the world's strongest men. We're going to lock Mr. Alexo inside the box. Everything all right in there, Mr. Alexo? Yeah, I heard him say yes. He has not yet gone off to other worlds. And now, we seal his doom with the final lock. Alexo is now trapped. He cannot escape from the box. Or can he? First of all, we have to say the magic words. Halabalala, sim salabim, hamana hamana. And I take out the magic key and open the box. And sim salabim. I invite the audience to come up and check. Alexo is gone. Where, we don't know. Somewhere in the stratosphere. Fine.
Sorry, Dad, I didn't realize.
That's okay. What's up?
The fingerprint report came back. The prints belonged to Jeff.
Oh, I thought sure I was onto something. Well, how are we going to bring Alexo back? Shall we say the magic words once again? Halabalala, sim salabim, hamana hamana. And presto changeo.
Sorry, Dad. I don't think he's coming back.
Well, guess we can't cut him in half, can we? I know. I'll cut Police Lieutenant Steve in half. Right over here, Steve. You don't mind being cut in half, do you?
What is the matter? Maybe he hasn't told you, but this is the same way I got him to marry me.
You know what? It's probably a good thing that she's here. Go ahead, Jeff. Tell her how you feel about her. Tell her the truth. Tell her.
You sure that's what you want?
Mm-hmm.
I love her beyond all reason, and I'm the luckiest man in the world that she would even consider loving me.
You son of a...
Terry, I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
You're gonna be so sorry for this! Oh.
I think I'm gonna need another secretary.
We could have just gone on to the next trick. You don't do something to somebody like sawing him in half without rehearsing it.
It worked fine when he rehearsed it with me.
He rehearsed it with you?
Only once, but it seemed pretty basic.
Man, if you thought it was so basic, how come you took a powder?
Hey, look at the bright side. At least you're already at the hospital.
We're closed.
Steve, it's Amanda!
Amanda? What are you doing here so late?
I need to tell you about the will.
What will?
Hey, Alex. Mark had a hunch, so he asked me to snoop around and see what I could find out about Jeff Briggs' will. Oh, I heard about your accident. I'm so sorry, but how did he talk you into letting him saw you in half?
Oh, probably the same way he talked you into snooping into Jeff Briggs' will. What'd you find out?
Jeff Briggs had 2 sons from a previous marriage. The divorce settlement stipulated that he give 1/3 of his estate to each of his boys.
Yeah, but you only leave an estate if you're dead. Jeff Briggs is alive.
Yes, but as Mark pointed out, if he were dead, it would give Dina all the more reason to lie and say that Jim was her husband.
He's right. Doesn't make up for the sawing in half trick, but he's right about this.
If it's any consolation, Mark is not happy about this. He doesn't like the idea of his friend Jim being a murderer any more than he likes the idea of him being dead.
Even so, I know my dad. He'll want to know the truth no matter what.
Asia!
We changed every date but one.
Oakland on the 22nd, which is right in the middle of my Acapulco vacation.
Asia, if you change that Oakland date, you're liable for twice the capacity of the entire stadium. Not us, not the insurance company, you.
Who agreed to something stupid like that?
You and your lawyer. It comes to approximately $500,000. The promoter won't budge. Plus, he's threatening to sue you for personal damages if you postpone. So, what we've done...
I don't care what you've done.
We have arranged for a private jet to pick you up and fly you to Oakland that morning. Directly after the performance, it'll be standing by to fly you right back to Mexico. Or if you prefer, you can stay at the presidential suite at the Four Seasons and fly back the next morning. It's your choice. $500,000 plus a lawsuit, or a one-day break in your holiday.
I want a private chef. On the plane and on the ground.
It's already been arranged.
My hairdresser's gonna have to come.
Booked her this morning. She'll meet you on the plane.
Didn't you used to be a secretary here?
She's my partner now.
Huh. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought you were. From now on, I only want to work with you.
You are terrific.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was nobody at the secretary's desk, and I heard voices back here.
I hope you've come to return my bottle of scotch.
As a matter of fact, I have. And while I was here, I thought I'd get another set of fingerprints. It's not too much trouble.
I don't have to put up with this nonsense. If you want another set of prints, you're going to have to get a warrant.
A warrant? Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, wait a minute. Here's one right here. Left hand or right hand? Ah, heck, let's get them both.
Forget it, Jim. It's over. He's got us.
What are you talking about?
Congratulations, Lieutenant. You're right. This is Jeff's brother, Jim.
I guess I won't be needing those fingerprints after all.
Dina.
Jim Briggs, I'm placing you under arrest for the murder of your brother, Jeff.
What makes you think that? Jim didn't kill Jeff.
You said...
I said this is Jim. As far as I know, Jeff's death was an accident. Jim had nothing to do with it. All I said was that Jim was impersonating Jeff. I didn't say he committed a murder.
You're gonna have to do a little better than that, Mrs. Briggs.
Look, Jeff and I have been having problems for a long time. It all came to a head when I discovered he was carrying on with his secretary. We had a huge fight about it. Finally, he just walked out. I just figured that he was at a hotel or with her.
That's exactly what she told me the morning I went to see her. The day you found Jeff's body.
Why did you go see her?
I needed money. I knew Jeff wouldn't lend me anymore, and his car wasn't in the driveway, and Dina's always been a soft touch. Don't look at me like that, Lieutenant. Gambling is an addiction. I'm not proud of it.
I gave him some breakfast. He was still eating when the call came, asking Jeff to come and identify the body that you thought was Jim. I knew right away what happened. I just talked him into impersonating his brother.
You knew about Jeff's will.
It wasn't the money. Jeff's sons can have the money. They can have the house. They can have the business for all I care. You know, Jim says that I'm a soft touch, and that's true. Do you know why, Lieutenant? It's because I love him. I have always, always loved him. The only reason Jeff married me was to take me away from Jim. I didn't know that at the time. I thought that Jeff was as kind and loving and thoughtful as Jim, but he wasn't. By the time I found that out, it was too late. So when Jeff had his accident, I just figured it was fate. Stepped in and changed both our lives.
You know, that still doesn't explain why they had to pretend that he was Jeff. You know, if they loved each other so much, why didn't they just tell the truth and go get married?
Yeah, she said she didn't think they were hurting anybody. But since we found out she's willing to give all the money up, she sounded sincere.
I hope she is. Because I intend to do everything in my power to give her the life she deserves. I had to come back here to fill out some final paperwork for the hospital. I thought I should come here and see you, too.
I don't know exactly what to say to you, Jim.
I know I've disappointed you, Dr. Sloan.
Disappoint's putting it mildly.
Well, please, let me try to explain. It's true, I've always envied my brother. I always thought that if I could just catch a break, I could be as big a success as he was. I thought it would never come. Well, this is my big break, Dr. Sloan. You understand that, don't you?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
I'm sorry to hear that. Our friendship always meant a lot to me.
You haven't found Jeff's surfboard yet, have you?
No, why?
According to the autopsy, he was killed by a blunt object, blow to the head. Now, if that was the surfboard, it might have some fingerprints on it.
We still have to find it.
Yeah. If you don't find something soon, Jim's going to get away with murder.
Well, would you fill it, man? Whoa, wooden surfboard!
There's still a cop out there watching us.
Oh, they can't keep it up forever.
What do they expect us to do? Make a run for it?
You know, they're just trying to make us nervous. Let's just put it out of your mind, huh? We've got a business to run, right? Okay.
How's my time?
You're learning.
Dina, I couldn't have done this without you. You know that.
I couldn't have done it without you. And I don't think either of us should ever forget that.
Canvas, everyone?
Yeah, every surfer I could find. Still no witnesses. Still no surfboard. Hey, is it true what I heard? The DA's office won't even prosecute them for fraud? I mean, they were keeping money from their rightful heirs.
That's barely been a week. Besides, they never filed a claim. DA says he'd never get a conviction. And he's probably right. Thanks. I'm sorry I wasted your time.
No problem. Wish I could have turned something up.
Hey. You seen my dad?
Yeah, he has his infectious disease class today. What's up?
I think we may have gotten our break.
You found the surfboard.
Better, I found a mistake. A big one.
This is bordering on harassment, Lieutenant. We're trying to run a business here, and you keep interfering with our lives.
We haven't done anything illegal. Why don't you just leave us alone?
Sorry to call you down here like this, but sometimes questions pop up and we need answers. I'll try and make this fast.
What do you want to know?
You told me you didn't know that Jeff had been dead for 2 days.
That's right. We found out when we got the call from the hospital.
Well, maybe you can explain why we found Jim's beat-up Jeep in the parking lot at Sunset Cove.
I don't understand.
Well, if Jeff did die in his usual surfing spot, the Point Malibu, and then the current took his body up the coast to Sunset Cove, why was Jim's Jeep parked there instead of Jeff's SUV?
It's really very simple. See, once we realized what had happened, we picked up the SUV and left the Jeep instead. We figured that's where the body was found, so that's where the Jeep should be.
We thought that was the logical place. Of course, we didn't know about all that tidal action before we screwed up, that's all.
I can understand that. Maybe you can explain this for me, too. If you didn't park the Jeep at Sunset Cove until 2 days after Jeff's death, why was the parking lot ticket that we found underneath your windshield wiper time-stamped for the morning of the murder?
That was my idea. See, all county parking tickets look the same, so when we picked up Jeff's SUV at the parking lot down the coast, I slipped the parking ticket underneath the windshield wiper of Jim's Jeep. I guess we just made a mess of everything. Is that all?
You think you've got your bases all covered, don't you?
There are no bases to cover, Lieutenant. Can we please leave?
What the hell are you doing
May I
here?
come in?
Dina will be back in a minute.
No, she won't. I just saw her drive off, and we have some things to discuss.
Look, I can't get you your job back. I'm sorry.
I didn't come here begging for my job. I know you can't do a damn thing about that. Because you're not Jeff.
Oh, if you come here to blackmail me, you're too late. The police already know who I am, and it's not a crime to impersonate somebody. So,
I don't know, but do the police know that you started impersonating Jeff before anyone even knew he was dead? Yeah, remember? You came into the office 2 days before his body was found.
you're out of your mind.
Oh, no, I'm not. It's a simple phone call. 3 little numbers. You know what? I'm sure that someone at 911 will connect me with the Malibu police station when I tell them I'm reporting a murder. Want to find out?
Consuela? Consuela, would you come in here a minute, please?
Hey, what are you doing?
Exactly what you're doing. Consuela, you know Senora Deegan. I want you to remember that she came here today. She wants to extort money from me. You want to make your phone call now? Because nobody would ever believe you.
I'm sorry, Dr. Sloan. I really thought I had him there for a minute. But he said just what you said, that no one would believe my testimony.
Not your fault, Miss Deegan. It was worth a try. If he would have tried to make any kind of a deal with you, it would have been the first step in proving that he murdered his brother.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Over the years, I saw Jim come by the office maybe 5-6 times. And Jeff would always refer to him as his stupid brother. I'm starting to think that Jeff underestimated him.
Oh, I think we all did. Miss Deegan, thank you very, very much. Look, if you think of anything else at all, you can call me right here at the hospital. Okay. If I'm not in, call me on my cell phone. Something the matter?
Come to think of it, I do remember something else.
I was panicked when she walked in, but then it was like this great calm came over me, and I knew right away that she was bluffing, so I bluffed right back.
I am very proud of you.
I kept thinking, why couldn't I be this good in my poker playing days?
You start gambling again, sweetheart, they're going to be 2 dead Briggs brothers.
Dina, I major league rolled the dice when I went in the water after Jeff. All that's out of my system. I swear it. I don't have to do it anymore.
Consuela. Well, you know, I really liked the man you were before, but I think I'm gonna love this man you're turning into. Consuela!
Yes. Are you expecting someone?
No.
Hi. We'd like to see Mr. and Mrs. Briggs, please.
Yes, come in.
Thank you.
This will not happen again, Lieutenant. We have consulted our lawyers, and they assure us we already have enough to sue you and the Los Angeles Police Department for malicious prosecution.
This is the last time we'll bother you, I promise.
We have just a few questions to ask. We're out of your hair for good. You have my word. You haven't have any coffee already made?
No. You're not our guest, and this isn't a social call, is it?
Okay, I'm trying to cut back anyway.
Earlier today, my dad and I had a talk with Jeff's secretary, Terry Deegan.
I don't know what she told you, but I wouldn't put too much stock in the stories of a secretary I had to fire a few days ago.
Oh, yeah, especially if they were uncorroborated. But she did have one thing she said she could corroborate.
Miss Deegan said she got a frantic call from one of Jeff's clients the morning he died. The client demanded to speak with Jeff, something about a change of concert date.
Oh, that was Asia. This is no big surprise. She called Jeff 10 times a day screaming about one thing or another.
Of course, she didn't speak to Jeff. He wasn't there. But she demanded to have his car phone number, which Miss Deegan explained was unlisted. He never gave it to anyone. But after about a 5-minute tirade, she finally capitulated and gave her the number.
Again, that doesn't surprise me.
What should surprise you, Mrs. Briggs, is that when Asia called the car phone number, she spoke with Jeff.
I don't understand.
Well, that's where we have a slight problem. The call came in at 11 a.m., which is a full hour after the time frame set by the autopsy for Jeff's death. So Asia couldn't possibly have talked to Jeff. I think she talked to you, Jim.
Which put you in Jeff's car 2 days before you said you picked it up. You were driving Jeff's car within an hour of the time he was murdered.
This is ludicrous. There are a lot of other possibilities here.
Such as?
Oh, off the top of my head, Jeff's body had been in the water for 2 full days. I don't think anyone would believe that an autopsy could be that precise. I mean, maybe he did die before 10 a.m., but maybe it was 11:15 after the phone call, or 12 o'clock. Nobody could possibly know for sure.
Even if Jeff did die before 10 a.m., that phone call doesn't prove that I spoke to Asia. It just proves that someone spoke to Asia.
You know, there's a very good reason you're having a hard time pinning Jeff's death on Jim. And that's because he didn't do it. Now, I would appreciate it if you kept your word and never bothered us again.
You know, Jim, you worked at the hospital for 6 years. We talked all the time. You taught me magic tricks. I thought you were a decent kind of a guy. Guess that proves I'm not as good a judge of character as I thought. Oh, Amanda told me she gave it back to you, the amulet.
Yes, with the effects.
You know, that amulet must have some kind of magical power.
No, Dr. Sloan, it's just an ordinary piece of metal on a chain.
Then how do you explain the photographs?
Photographs?
The autopsy photos of Jeff. The morning they brought him in from the water, he was wearing that amulet.
Yeah, I think we all know that, Mark.
Well, there's where the magic comes in. If you didn't murder Jeff that morning, how do you explain the fact that that amulet suddenly appeared around the neck of a dead man?
Dina.
Oh, my God.
You're the only one who could have put it there, Jim.
I'm sorry.
James Briggs, you have the right to remain silent.
Lieutenant, can I say goodbye to my wife first? Dina, the last few days they've been wonderful. I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. I love you.
I love you.
We had so many clues. The direction of the current, the surfer's knots, the fingerprints.
The parking lot tickets, the phone call to the car.
And all we needed was that amulet. And it was staring us right in the face the whole time. I don't know how we missed it. We're some team.
The Three Stooges.
Yeah, don't say that.
And if you hadn't put that amulet back on.
Oh, old habits die hard.
Sure do.
Speaking of which, I have some time off, and the surf report said there's a big swell coming up. I'm going to grab my wetsuit and my board and catch some waves.
Listen, be careful out there. You know the currents are running
south to north.
Right.
Take care of those surface knots.
You want to see something?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Hey, you got it! The miser's dream!
Is that slick? Watch this.
Good. Oh, you don't got it.
Well, I'll pat it.
Just relax.
Well, yeah. See, I get all...
Come on.
Excuse me,
Excuse us.
got a silver dollar over there. You get it? Okay, they're hard to come by. That's the real thing. Okay, you ready? Can you believe that?
Get set for Late Show Laughs with Dave and the world's largest pumpkin, plus paintball escapades, Meryl Streep, and Natalie Merchant. But first, your local news.
I'm Matt Mulcahy.
I'm Maureen Green. Coming up next on Eyewitness News 5, a major layoff announced at New Venture Gear. We'll tell you whether this is a sign of the times.
DeWitt residents weigh in on whether the lights can stay on the Eastwood Bears football field. Those stories plus Jim Barrick's precision forecast.
Eyewitness News 5 is next.